A house refers to a structure, a building, while a home refers to people in the house. The relationship of the people in the house makes it a home. There are many beautiful big houses, but no one is there but the caretaker. There are also houses which are good enough for 5 kids, and the house becomes a home. It's in the home that the seed of vocation to the priesthood is sown, nurtured, and accompanied. It's in the home that values like honesty, generosity, kindness, and goodness, love and service are honed. It is in the home with healthy relationships that laughter, joy, and gratitude abound. Respect and gentleness grow. One of the important elements of a home is presence. The bishop's house is usually a place where priests gather for meetings or for casual chat. What makes it a home is the presence of the bishop. If you go to a bishop's house, but there is no bishop there, what are you going to do? So the presence of the bishop is important to make a house a home. So that the priest going there will feel at home because the bishop is there. Another element would be acceptance. A priest will feel at home when his bishop accepts him as he is. A non-judgmental and a welcoming attitude, a listening ear are important factors to make a house a home. Priests come from different families. Some might have difficult growing up years. An absent father, an abusive father, non-affective father. These might leave a scar to the person who later on becomes a priest. The bishop has to have a heart to understand these priests who might be vulnerable. A priest might see in his bishop his father. It is not easy to make him feel at home in his presence. Some priests have authority hang-ups. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, through the Episcopal Commission on Clergy, started a program in 1998 called Assist Ministry, a ministry to assist priests in need or in difficulty. Priests were trained how to tend their brother priests who are in pain, lost, lonely, depressed, confused, tired, or burnout. We found out that the thread that weaves through all this is the loss or neglect of prayer life. The disconnection from the source or from the bishop played a big part. Many priests were assisted through the years. The program is still going on for 25 years. And the program expanded because of the other needs of priests. And now we have the ongoing formation of priests. The Episcopal Commission on Clergy divides the clergy into different brackets. The young clergy, 1 to 5 years in ministry. The junior clergy, 6 to 10 years in ministry. The lower middle clergy, 11 to 17 years in ministry. The upper middle clergy, 18 to 24 years in ministry. The lower senior clergy, 25 to 35 years in ministry. The upper senior clergy, 36 up. Sometimes at diocese, we have a joke that when you grow upper, you become senior high, ready to graduate. Each bracket has a program of their own for the ongoing formation. Some dioceses give opportunities for the groups to have their own retreats or recreation or bonding. This is the role of the community of priests, to enhance or cultivate the bonding, to become a support group for brother priests. When priests gather in brackets, for instance, we notice that the young clergy will have their own way of talking to one another. The subject matter, for instance, will be their transportation, their vehicle. Well, if you go to the senior clergy, they have their own, you might say, topic to discuss. Their medicine for maintenance, their high blood pressure, their cholesterol, their sugar, which the young clergy do not discuss at all. The middle clergy also have their own topics. Where do we go from here? Which parish do you want to go to? In this instance, then, we allow the group of priests in their brackets to bond together so that they can listen to one another and to be able to become a support group to each one. It's not so easy, for instance, for a young priest to be able to go to the senior clergy and listen to their needs. But if they are more or less in the same group, they'll be able to understand one another. Probably we can call it peer grouping. And they'll be able to support one another because they know and they understand more their brother priests. There was once a priest who went to me to share his story. And I asked him if he has a priest friend to share what is going through in his life. And he answered me, no. I don't know of any priest in the diocese whom I can turn to. It is sad if a priest cannot go to another priest when he is in need. He might go to some other person. And it might complicate things. But if he has a brother priest, at least the support and accompaniment will be there. A bishop once said to me, I don't mind if a priest goes to his brother priest for support. He doesn't have to go to me. Do we feel at home with our brother priests? Do we have a support group that will be there to respond to our needs, day in and day out? A shoulder to lean on. Is someone in the diocese entrusted to accompany brother priests in need? Just at this juncture, I'd just like to share with you my own midlife journey, which gave me the opportunity to answer the call to accompany priests. Usually when I go to the villages, or we call them barangays, and celebrate Mass, for instance, or baptisms, I used to stay longer after the Mass to be with people, or to go to their homes to eat. Only after that will I go back to the rectory. One time, I myself was surprised. When I went to the barangays, to the village, I want to go back home to the rectory. Several times this happened to me. And I said to myself, it's not me. Before I used to stay longer to talk with people, relate with people, but now I would like to rush back home. Why is that? It's not me. There were other occasions wherein somehow it doesn't fit me. There was something changing in me. And I said to myself, if I continue like this, I might self-destruct. And if I self-destruct, the people will suffer. Then I decided to take a break, to have my sabbatical. And I was grateful for my bishop to set me free in that sense from the responsibility. So I took my sabbatical for a year. And there I saw the situation of my diocese. There are a number of priests in the diocese who are living the ministry one after the other. And I said to myself, can they be helped? Can they be asked to stay on? To see themselves why? There was the gift of accompaniment that was given to me. I saw that there are priests who are in need. And when I went back home, I shared this with my brother priests. And they volunteered me to go to the training program in the assist ministry. And that started in 1998. The assist ministry, a ministry to ministers, a call within a call. It is a call to accompany priests. So I'd like to appreciate and be grateful to those priests who are in charge of ongoing formation. Look at it not only as what the bishop is telling you, but to take it as a call from God to accompany your brother priests. It's not easy, I understand. But if you take it as a call, then your heart will start pumping, so to say. The company of priests is awesome. Probably I might use another word, but may mean differently. I would say awful, but the meaning would be full of awe. In the mercy, the compassion, and love of God for His priests. It's very tangible. If you accompany priests in the assist ministry, for instance, for 3 months, intensive, you'll be able to see how God loves His priests. Even the countenance of the priests, you'll be able to see the change. When they enter the program, probably they'll be sad. A First Friday countenance. And when they go out and finish, it becomes an Easter Sunday countenance. There's a change. So accompanying priests is a beautiful experience because you see how God works in His priests. So we are grateful to the Dicastery for this international conference for the ongoing formation of priests with the theme, rekindle the gift of God that is within you. A priest's life journey needs upgrading in the different aspects of his life and ministry as priest. We keep on discovering the gifts the Spirit gives. It never stops. Oh, just a note what Bishop Fortunatus mentioned of some priests who were asked to the episcopate and they refused. Back home in the Philippines, we have 8 vacancies, and I think now it's 7. A new one came up. 7 vacancies to the episcopate, to different dioceses, local churches. It's not so easy to fill them out. So for those priests who are asked to be bishops, and you are surprised, take it as an invitation, a call, and pray over it. And for priests who are not surprised, I'd say, I expect the Spirit will be surprised. So I pray for humility. Last November 8 to 11, 2024, just last year, a group of Western Visayas bishops in the Philippines met for a meeting with the theme, Rekindling the Shepherd's Heart. It was a very meaningful, enriching experience of bonding, renewal, and transformative encounter among bishops. We saw the need of knowing more the person of the bishop, the role of the bishop as father, brother, and friend to his priests, and the way of the shepherd, attitudes, skills, lifestyle, pastoral leadership in relation to his priests. With that experience, I can say that not only the priests who need the ongoing formation, but also the bishops. The bishop will be able to understand better his priest when he knows his own self better. With the participants of the assist ministry, they have a desiderata. Their desiderata is that the bishops will be able to understand them better, especially when their situation, when they go back to their diocese. Meaning, they like also to see that their bishop will have a similar program, so that they will be able to understand better the priests when they go back to their diocese. It's a very important desire of priests, so that they can meet at least in the same level. If bishops will be able to have a similar program. And this is what we have been doing, at least last November, with a group of bishops. To better understand our priests, we need to have an ongoing formation for bishops at the service of our priests. And another concern, which probably we were not able to see, is the inner life of priests. The pastoral ministry, so to say, is quite clear. You see priests moving around in the parish, for instance, of celebrating masses here and there, but active in the ministry, so to say. But what happens in the late afternoon or evening when pastoral ministry, so to say, is off and he is alone in his rectory? The inner life of a priest. What does he do? Is it in consonance with his outer ministry? Just an example. During the day, the priest is very busy. And then late afternoon, he becomes tired and lonely in his factory. Then he drinks. After the late evening. Then the following morning, he's supposed to be at Mass at 6. But he woke up 5 to 6, prepared himself, and was there in church 20 minutes after 6. This is what I'd like to ask our chair or in charge of ongoing formation for priests. The inner life of our priests, which may be different from their outer life in ministry. There might be a dissonance in what priest is doing when he is alone after his ministry with what he's doing in the morning or in the day during his pastoral ministry. He might have a different life in the evening. But he is the same person supposed to be in the evening and in the morning. The same person. So probably this is an angle that we can look into as we go on. At the end, we can say, home is where your heart is. When your heart is with the priest, then you are at home with them. When your heart is with the bishop, then you are at home with him. Let us feel at home with one another. Our presence is our reality. Our human reality is the locus of God's revelation. The community of priests is co-responsible with the bishop in making the priests of the local church in general a home for everyone. Not only a home, but a healthy and a safe home. A gentle reminder to my brother bishops. We are as human as our priests. We are not angels. Thanks be to God. Love your priests. Be at home with them. Brother priest, love your bishop. Be at home with him. And be at home with your brother priests. Welcome home, brothers.